everybody to this episode of the Philly Old Head Review. Disclaimer here, our guest today is from my tribe. She is a relative, and we're going to talk about beauty, health, and wellness, natural products, and natural care. So without further ado, I'll let her introduce herself, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, so hey everyone, Megan Council here. Omar, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm from Philadelphia and I am a financial advisor, but I'm also a holistic lifestyle success coach, as well as a digital marketer and a photographer. So kind of a jack of all trades. We're working on narrowing some of those things down, but just have a lot of different skills and abilities. But my passion is health and wellness, and also personal development, and just really helping people realize their true potential, so that they can, achieve things in life and really, create success. So, so a little bit about me. So I'm from Philly originally. I graduated from Spelman College in 2013, got my bachelor's in psychology, and started in financial services down in Charlotte, North Carolina for a couple years. And recently moved back to Philadelphia, my hometown here. So just been here for about 2 years, working for one of the big banks. I work for Merrill Lynch, and just really starting to hone down on kind of what it is, what my purpose is, what I want to do in life. And I'm just here to just share any knowledge that I have, any just things that I've learned over the years that have really served me well, and it's helped me kind of overcome different obstacles, financially, from a personal development standpoint, and also understanding that underneath all of those things is, something most important, which is our health and wellness. So yeah, I'm just excited to be here, and I own a marketing agency called Thrive Creative Marketing, and I'm going to be where I help tell small businesses stories through social media platforms digitally. And but again, I love the health and wellness, so in the beauty industry, and so I'm actually going to be looking to launch some products and services coming
Can't wait.
2021.
Can't wait. I
And
can't wait.
just super excited. So so yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Very diverse, very diverse. So are you taking on new customers real quick on the financial side? And if so, where can they find you? How can they contact you?
So I'm not taking customers on the financial services side. I have pretty much like a contract with my firm. So pretty much
Okay.
all business is done through Merrill. But I do offer photography services, videography services, and in terms of marketing for small businesses and entrepreneurs and artists. And then also I kind of are offering some services to individuals, helping people, doing some one-on-one coaching for people who want to thrive in areas of holistic health,
Mhm.
also business marketing, and just personal development, empowerment coaching. So those are going to be services that I'm offering. I'm also going to be offering a online personal hair care course next year. So where you can find me, essentially, I'm on Facebook, Meghan Lily. My name is spelled with an H, Meghan, Lily, which is my middle name. And you can find me on Facebook primarily, but also shoot me an email, meghanlilyco or co@gmail.com.
And we'll post the links below for everybody.
Yep.
So, all right, let's talk about the health and wellness thing. How did you get into it?
So health and wellness isn't something I really kind of got into. It's always been something that's like a part of my life. Ever since growing up, my father was a naturalist. So he believed very much into, he believed that your food is your medicine.
Right.
And he never believed in taking prescription drugs or even going to the doctor's office. He always believed that what your body needs can be found from the natural earth. And so I grew up in a household that supported that. So he would make foods and would just kind of teach me and educate me about eating the right things. And we were limited with eating junk food. Going to Burger King was like a holiday. We were not allowed to engage with a lot of fast food because again, it kind of held those standards.
Yeah.
So my dad was a really big part of me and just my passion for learning. He was also a teacher in the Philadelphia education school system. He's now passed away, but he really instilled like what it is, why you should eat foods that you should eat, why you should avoid certain things. And I think I just carried that on through my life. And I kind of naturally just started to get reacclimated. I think when I was in school and college, right, we are all on those student meal plans. So you're pretty much eating whatever you can get from the cafeteria. But I just noticed that like how my body would feel. I mean, my face, I had really bad acne.
Mm-hmm.
I had, I wasn't able to lose weight. My hair wasn't really growing. I think the main change for me happened when I graduated college and I got an apartment in Charlotte, started living on my own, started cooking my own foods. And that's when I noticed the big shift. The foods that I was choosing, fruits and vegetables, and how it would make my body feel, and literally just started transforming my life just by eating more natural foods that are high in nutritional value. And my hair would start growing, my face start clearing up more. I'm starting to lose weight. I felt better, had a lot more energy. So that was just a really big shift for me. Going to after graduating college and going through that experience, I think that's what really kind of like was the light bulb for me. And so I just kind of kept that up and kept that on. And honestly, it's been some of the biggest lifestyle changes that I've had for myself. So that's kind of how I got into it.
So I just read an article. It was from 2018, and it was and I think I posted it on my Facebook page, but it was talking about how by 2025, I believe, that the beauty industry, fake hair, fake nails, fake eyelashes, fake this, that, and other will be a $10 billion industry. If it's not already, it will be in the next few years, they forecast it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, we already spoke about, the natural hair and stuff like that. What we didn't talk about is some of the complications that come with women attaching these, especially women. Men do it now as well, which is weird to me, but the women, attaching the hair extensions and the nail extensions and some of the artificial products that they put on their face and stuff like that. Can you speak about that a little bit and how because a lot of times women will say it's easy for me, I don't have time to do my hair. So what type of regimen would you suggest for a woman who's very busy? Maybe she has a lot of children, maybe she's always running late for work, so she has to hurry up and throw her hair together, so to make it easy on her to have her hair done in a natural way where she doesn't have to spend $200-300 every so often to get the extensions put in the hair on top of buying the extensions and weaves. What would you suggest for that?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a great question. I mean, essentially it's what like almost every woman deals with that problem, which is how do I look good but not compromise my health or compromise what I have going on for my body. Mm-hmm. And especially when you have a job, your relationships, children, things, extracurricular things that you're involved in, it can be very, very difficult for women to find like a kind of like a go-to process or go-to system. So I know that for me, one of the things I had to really do was first have a good understanding of what I was working with. So for example, I grew up learning how to do my own hair, but me doing my own hair was, I pretty much had poor habits of doing my hair. I would use a lot of heat. I would color my hair every so often. Just use all types of different products on my hair, just trying to go through a lot of trial and error. And what I found is that that wasn't a really effective system for me. I was ended up like having hair that was just dull. I mean, I never got trims. I really just was doing everything, hoping that something stuck on the wall. You know what I mean? Just throwing a whole bunch of darts, just trying to pray that something happens. What changed for me was, number one, if you want something to grow, you have to take time to nourish it. And so, but that can be really difficult when you have a lot of things that are, kind of grabbing for your time and your attention, your energy. So it's really about first understanding, kind of having the awareness, like, okay, I have this type of hair. So I would go online, do research about what kind of my hair type that I have. So I currently have type 3C hair, which is kind of curly, somewhat coily. You can tell I got my hair out right now. It's kind of my wash and go, but my hair has a personality of its own. So what I had to find was like, okay, I need to find a system or a process that works for me and my hair type. I can't just do what everybody else is doing because they have different hair. They have, they have a different ethnicity or background, and everybody's hair is not the same. Right. So I had to really find out what works for me. But I also invested in a good hairstylist. So in Atlanta back in 2011, I found a beautician who really specialized in natural hair. And he was somebody that I continued to go to. He's somebody that I trusted. And I asked him questions about, okay, what should I do, or what products do you recommend me use for my hair? And he would give me a slew of products that were good for my hair type and that I can kind of use as a go-to. So number one, that's kind of more so addressing the health of the hair. But again, what happens when you don't have a lot of time? So my best advice is to kind of create a system for you to easily do your hair. So for example, right now I'm in a working from home environment, so I'm not as pressed to do my hair every day, thank God. Right. But when I was going to the office, I had to like really kind of try to make my hairstyles last. So I'll get my hair done maybe once or twice a month at the actual hair salon, keeping up with getting my, so I would create a routine for my hair. I know that, for example, my hair actually grows best when it's dirty, believe it or not. So I'm like, okay, well, if my hair is really growing because it has its own natural oils, and oftentimes when a lot of for textured hairstyles or women with textured hair, shampooing your hair can be dangerous because it can strip your hairs of the natural oils, which support its growth. So I knew that, okay, my hair I can go like a good month using one hairstyle when I get it straightened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to support that hairstyle by wrapping my hair every night, or getting investing in a silk pillowcase, so that if I forget one night, I'm really tired, bam, I got a silk pillowcase. I don't got to worry about wrapping my hair, and my hair is going to help the longevity of my hairstyle. Right. So just like investing in small things like that, getting a beautician, somebody that knows and an expert in hair, if you're not going to do your own research. Also just creating a system for yourself and understanding how your hair works, how it reacts to certain environments, whether that is okay, my hair gets really frizzy when it's really humid out. Okay, so then I need a good dehumidifier for my hair. So a hairspray that's going to help preserve the style more. Or if I'm really tired and I know I'm not going to wrap my hair that night, I'll invest in a silk pillowcase, which is pretty inexpensive. You can get it anywhere on Amazon. So those are just kind of things to help support my hairstyle when I'm on the go and when I don't have a lot of time to really give that much attention to it. So just a couple tips.
What are some of the, the cons to adding, the extensions and the wigs and stuff to your hair?
Yeah, so there's a lot of consequences to wearing weaves, to wearing wigs. Yes, it's easy. You don't got to worry about your hair, but at the end of the day, you find that the short term is you're really addressing short term problems and not addressing the long term problems. So your short term problems can actually become long term problems. So by adding hair, some of the cons are number one, anything that covers your scalp is not allowing your scalp to breathe. What a lot of women don't know is that your hair is actually dead. This is dead. It's not alive. The only thing on that's on your head is your scalp that's alive. So your scalp, when you eat foods and when you eat different things, the nutrients from your food are being supplied through your bloodstreams and your blood systems, which are right underneath your scalp. So you literally, your nutrients are going to your scalp. But your scalp also needs to breathe. So when you're putting weaves and wigs on top of your hair, you're not really allowing your scalp to breathe and getting oxygen, which is going to help facilitate hair growth. So you're kind of capping that in a sense. And then also, I mean, a lot of problems with weaves is that number one, it puts a lot of strain, a lot of stress and tension on your hair, which is pretty fragile, which is pretty, sensitive in essence. I'm very tender-headed. I used to cry when my mom used to do my hair. And I just know that braids oftentimes were just very painful for me. And I used to develop a lot of hair bumps because of braids, tight pulling. So you just have to really nurture your hair. But some cons are, number one, you're going to stunt your growth. You are not really allowing your scalp to breathe, or you're putting too much stress and tension on your hair, which is ultimately going to not allow it to really grow in a healthy state. And then also, again, you're really addressing your short-term problems. If you're putting on weaves each day or wigs each day, it's like kind of like fast food. It satisfies the need right now, but then you're going to be hungry later. You're going to be, you're not getting as much nutrients from that fast food if you were to just go home and cook a meal. Kind of same kind of concept for hair. By nurturing, by doing, putting more time and attention into your hair will actually give you more long-term benefits, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from the hair to the skin, you and I think a lot of us, we had that, that acne problem.
Oh man, it's bad. It was bad.
I'm 50 and I still get some, you know what I mean, every now and then, but uh, those oily patches and stuff like that. So what's worked for you? I mean, of course, diet.
Yeah.
I tend not to put things on my skin. I mean, I don't have to get made up like, the ladies do, but what's worked for you as far as reducing the flare-ups and addressing the scars, besides, you got the cocoa butter and the shea butter, but what's worked?
Wow. I mean, I feel like I've finally come to a place where I feel like I have the skin that I want. And it's taken a long time to get to that point. I'll tell you what has worked for me. Um, I've been through a lot of different acne treatments, Proactive. I've tried the over the counter, the Cetaphil, just all of that. Nothing was really working.
Yeah, it
So
didn't work for me.
I was just like, what is this? And it really started to, affect my self-esteem, affect my confidence. I mean, I just hated when I would look at somebody, be talking to somebody, and they're just constantly looking at my pimples. Like, that's just like the worst feeling. And I just like, you know what? This is affecting my confidence. So what I did when I graduated college, I looked into getting a research dermatologist. That was a huge game changer for me. I found a Black dermatologist in Charlotte, North Carolina, who understood. I mean, I think it's called cystic acne, where it's very prevalent. I mean, it's all over. I had it on all corners of my face.
Mm-hmm.
And he first gave me some topical treatments. You never want to go straight to like medication necessarily, but so if you can do things kind of from the external, I also was, was make sure I was addressing the foods that I was eating as well. So I noticed even when my eating habits did change it did improve my skin. I wasn't as oily because I wasn't eating a lot of processed foods or a lot of oily foods. That helped to some extent, but it wasn't getting rid of the problem. When I went to the dermatologist, we tried some topical treatments. It wasn't really working because my acne was very aggressive. But he gave me some medication that ended up, it's called, I think it's called like Accutane, which is a very serious medication. You always recommend for people to check with your doctor and with your dermatologist when considering these types of treatments. But because of how aggressive it was more so of my hormones. It was my hormones that were overproducing the oil in my skin, which piled with bacteria would just obviously create the outbreaks. Mm-hmm. So because I needed to address the hormone overproduction of oil in my skin, the medication targeted that. So once that became under control, I was able to get off of the medication, and it really helped clear up my skin. Now it's been that was 2014. So it's been 6 years and I have not been returned back to medication. So right now my health habits are how I'm able to really kind of keep my skin as clear as it is by investing in a spin brush. Like you can go to any drugstore or online and get, it's a face brush. Yeah. So I noticed that like my hands and stuff weren't really effective. I even had some sponges. Some things were too abrasive. But by getting a spin brush and using that, but more importantly, it's so important to clean your spin brush and clean even your toothbrush. And the way that I do that, one of my secret hacks is I just use rubbing alcohol. So before every time I use my spin brush, I'll get a spray bottle with alcohol and I'll just spray it a couple times, run it under the water. And that honestly, if you don't do that, you're going to be putting all that bacteria back onto your face.
I tried the boiling hot water, just throw it in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Toothbrush,
That's the tried and true method.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know if it's seasonal. I can go like a long time and I won't have any breakouts, at least on my face.
It looks good too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's what's helped me look like I was less than 50, but
wow, get out of here.
No, I mean,
it's so amazing.
It is irritating though. You like, oh man, I got this interview coming up. I got this thing on my face. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody wants that experience. It's just awful.
Yeah, I mean, it could be just one thing. I remember they used to say, don't drink sodas because sodas, that acid will make your face swell up. But I mean, I think it's more to it than that. I went and saw popular dermatologist here in Philly, female. She was on the news for, I can't remember her name, but she had prescribed me antibiotics. And I took them for a little bit and I was like, I can't take antibiotics for the rest of my life. This is not good for my body.
Yeah.
So I just kind of worked on juicing and smoothies and stuff like that for a little while. I got to really get back into it. And that's basically what I was using. And also we got to remember to drink a lot of water to help flush out the toxins. And those, I used to, when I was overseas, I would sit in the hot, not the hot tub, but the
springs and
the
saunas.
Your body to sweat out. So
yeah,
I did learn that did help.
That's key. You've mentioned something really big there. One big part of my routine is drinking a lot of water.
Yeah.
But also the type of water is also important. Where's my water?
I got my alkaline water here.
Oh, see, I go by the gallons. You know what I mean? I got these. I get the cases. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I love alkaline water. But I also, for me, my go-to is spring water.
Yeah.
I used to be a big purified water girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that and did some research on how acidic purified water is.
Hmm.
And you want pretty much you want water with
Minerals.
either minerals or low pH.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of the acidity, you want something that's going to be more alkaline.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, waters is you hit the nail on the head. That's going to really help you flush out. It's going to promote your growth because when you think about it, our body is pretty much comprised of what 80-85% water.
Yeah. 70 something, whatever it is. Yeah. It's the majority is water.
Majority
So
is water, yeah.
yeah.
So this is just even more important. And you can notice that, your skin gets really dry, my lips get really dry when I'm dehydrated. Even
Hmm.
like my nails, like this part right here will start to peel off right under.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So that's how I can tell that I'm pretty dehydrated. But the water, yeah, water is a big part.
So you talked about some products that you're thinking about getting into manufacturing, and now health, the beauty industry is so competitive now. What do you plan on doing to set yourself apart from other people?
Yeah, so I mean, my approach to it, I mean, I was just a young girl just trying to figure it all out, and thankfully, I've learned some things along the way that I've been sharing that's been helping a lot of other women. And one of the things that I'm going to be offering with my online personal hair care course, which is essentially the mission is to I want to help women who have experienced hair trauma and hair loss learn how to grow, restore, and take care of their natural hair so that they can regain confidence, practice self-care, and really feel their best and look their best inside and out. So my approach to that is, number one, it's true beauty. I believe that true beauty starts from the inside and then works its way on the outside. But what is true beauty? What does inner beauty look like? I mean, it's dealing with everything internal. So a lot of times women, it's not just about going out and buying products and putting the products on your hair and just crossing your fingers and hoping that it grows because you read all the reviews and everybody said this is the best thing since sliced bread. But that's taking an external approach. It's really about what you're putting into your body. So one of the things that's going to that's differentiating me with this course is, I'm going to be teaching some of the basics about good health is the foundation to good hair and good beauty. So more so taking a holistic approach. But guess what? It's not just about foods. It's also about or your physical health, but it's also about your emotional health, your mental health as well. So you ever heard or talked to people who saying like, oh, I'm doing this diet, the Mediterranean diet, or I'm doing this diet, and for some reason I'm not losing the weight. Well, when you look at their lifestyles, what's going on in their lives? For one woman, she was like managing a department, and she was working out 3 to 5 times per week, was on doing this diet, but her job was high stress, so
Right.
she didn't really have a lot of systems in place or structures of her routine in place that really gave her time to really decompress and kind of relieve that stress. Because when you're stressed out, stress is actually like a silent killer. We all know, I mean, it leads to heart issues, health issues just in general. And stress, when it raises your cortisol, it makes it harder to lose weight. It makes it harder for your body to really reproduce the way that it's supposed to when it's in a constant fight or flight type of response. Stress doesn't know the difference between you being stressed out from your job or you being chased by a tiger. It literally doesn't know the difference. It's going to keep continuing to go on the path of, listen, fight or flight. So when you're in that state of constant stress, your body is not really reproducing and is not allowing your hair to grow or your skin to reproduce the skin cells, or for you to lose weight because you're constantly in that state. So my approach with my hair course is like, okay, it's not, again, internal health, internal beauty.
Mm-hmm.
We're digging deeper. We're getting beyond the surface. We're going to start to address some of the things that are preventing or blocking you from moving to the next step or the next stage of where you want to be. So I think just by, again, having an internal approach is what's going to really help people kind of overcome the things that they think that they're buying or applying products or putting weave or just all these topical treatments, but you're not addressing the internal. So that's what's going to, I believe, differentiate me, from what's out there. And I'm really looking forward to this online personal hair care course. I'm going to be looking to launch that early 2021. But then also, I'm not only going to be, I'm passionate about educating women, but I also want to help give them the tools and the products as well. So I, right now, I'm in the works of bringing some hair combs to the market. Right now, huge game changer for me was investing in good hair tools. So that include like hair combs, hair brushes, and also hair oils, because again, moisturizing is just so important. Think about how when you don't moisturize your face, how dry it gets. It's crackly. It's not looking plump and just full of, health. Moisturizer is really important. So I'm also going to be looking to bring some hair oils to sell as well.
Okay. All right. You said early 2021. Have you gone out and started to reach out to people you may want to partner with as far as putting your items in, their particular facilities or stores? Or even, I mean, nowadays people don't like to help one another. I'm always about helping somebody. But helping you get on your feet as far as the production aspect, manufacturing, and where it's going to be done. Have you spoken to anybody about that?
Yeah, so I'm right now I'm in the works with a few individuals who people I know, people who you've really built relationships with over the years. So I'm in talks right now with partnering with someone who does she's like a chemist, so she does make products.
Right.
So I'm really excited about what's to come for that. And I've tried some of her products and I've had some really good success with. And so looking to partner with her and bringing that to the marketplace. I am also starting a collective or a network of people in the beauty and hair care industry. So like, for example, with my beautician from Atlanta, I'm in contact with him, and also some stylists in Philadelphia, people who've been doing hair for 15, 20 years, who are just excited and passionate about sharing their knowledge to people. So really just right now, just creating like a cohort or a community of people to kind of bring people together and pool those resources so that we can all benefit collectively and help other women and help people who have this need. So that a lot of things right now in the works, in the woodworks. But I'm just super excited that things are going to be developing. So definitely more to come with that, but I'm definitely in the works.
Now I'm gonna throw a curveball at you right now. We've been talking about, beauty products for women. You talked to Jared about getting something together for men?
Yo, can you believe I did not know my brother was growing dreadlocks or locks? Excuse me. I know
I missed that one. Is it growing?
I missed it too. I'm like, cause first he was kind of growing. Jared is my brother. And he's been kind of growing, twisting out his hair. But then next thing I know, it's kind of like twisted back into a style. And I'm like, bro, you growing out your hair, he's like, yeah, I got locks. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So, I just found out about that, but I know, what I did, I have some hair combs that I sent his wife, my sister-in-law, which she actually has been using with him. So she's given some of the hair combs to him to help him with managing, his hair. And but no, in terms of products for men,
hey, we need them too. Like seriously, you gotta keep the supple skin, and you gotta look good, smell good. So men, we need it too. We don't want to keep putting chemicals on our body. You know what I mean?
I know, and that's crazy because I'm actually starting to do some analytics right now with some of my content on my page, and I'm noticing that a lot of men also interact with some of my posts and things like that. So I'm definitely going to be thinking about ways, what we can do for men as well. Because again, you have hair on your head, or I don't know if you got hair on your head.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
okay. You got the little thing. Okay.
I'm losing a little bit back here, but
But you
I
got
don't
all
know.
this right there. You got all of this.
Yeah.
One big thing I know, beard oil, right? That's what I've been
Yeah. I've been
hearing.
trying to. It's the hardest thing because it's like I'll put the beard oil in, and then it'll be time to pray, and I'll wash my face. So now the oils, the oil it dries it up. So then it'll be out, and I don't have any oil with me. You know what I mean? But I try to put something in that keeps it soft.
Yeah.
So it can kind of like stay down and not be all like this. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, that's a big thing now. I mean, everybody's growing. Well, uh,
Starting.
beards are becoming part of the. When you go other places and people see the beard, they're like, "You from Philly?" Like, it's just
Oh man,
the Philly beard. You know what I'm saying?
notorious.
So,
Okay, you can kind of tell if somebody's from Philly just because of how their beard is. Like, it's
yeah. So,
but I love what you're saying. Essentially, because men have similar problems, I'm sure, in terms of hair, in terms of moisture, in terms of just making sure your skin and your hair is getting the right nutrients,
mhm.
that there's a need for men too, obviously. And I think self-care is not just for women, it's for men too. So I definitely will be looking into that as well. And I'm gonna get with Jared and see kind of what his take is, and seeing what I can offer for men as well.
I've been seeing all these Dr. Squatch commercials coming up on my timeline.
What is that, Doctor Who?
Dr. Squatch is a natural soap for men, specifically for men. They make these natural soaps. So
Oh, nice.
I'm seeing that come across my timeline a lot,
Uh-huh.
and I used to use Dr. Bronner's products a lot. But that stuff can get a little expensive. So you try to find little shortcuts here and there. I know a lot of people started getting into making their own soaps at home. But I would like that natural um, moisturizers, for hair, skin, nails.
Mm-hmm.
So what else? What
Yeah, I'm
else?
sure about
What
that.
what what else you offering out there? We talked about the the physical side as far as the hair and the nails. You touched on it a bit, the mental side. Um, I know you're a spiritual person like myself. Um, I think that's very important as well. As people, they have to have some type of spiritual food in order to know their self worth,
Yeah.
and that will reflect in also, lowering their stress levels, uh, and reflecting who they are as a person, their personality.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit, uh, in a general sense,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I think that that's. I mean, I think that the spiritual side is just as important as your physical side, as your physical body. And because at the end of the day, we all, we're all alive. I don't think we definitely didn't create ourselves. So there's definitely, I believe in a higher power, a higher source. I'm a Christian believer. And I believe that, having, uh, I believe that, I mean, my spirituality has been a big part of my journey. Just because I know that, being in a human body, being mortal, being finite, there's only so much that I can do. And there's so much that happens outside of my control. So I know that there's a higher power working on behalf of me. So for me, it's all about tapping into that. And I grew up in the church, Church of God in Christ, Baptist. I went to a Catholic school, so pretty much through all my childhood, I was exposed to different religions, and exposed to different forms of tradition. within religions. And for me, it's kind of like I've been through different classes in college about, you know, that kind of almost negate certain things that I believe and really question what I believe. But I think once I graduated college, came out into the world on my own, I tried to do so much on my own and kind of really just failed. So I knew that I needed to go back to my source, which was God and Christ Jesus. And I really start to see a lot of fruitfulness in my life. And I pretty much stuck with that. I mean, so for me, my spirituality has really takes on it's a daily walk. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So, you know, however that looks for people, I'd say tap into whatever that source is, whatever that's feeding you, because a lot of the times the battle's not, a lot of the times the battle's in our mind. So it's like we all experience negativity, whether it be thoughts, whether it be external influences from people, parents, friends, things that try to really kind of counter who we are. But what are we saying back to ourselves? What sources are from within ourselves are we speaking to ourselves and affirming ourselves? And so for me, you know, just again, spending a lot of time, my faith is just a big part of me looking forward to more, having a hope for the future. Just it's so, especially right now with being in a pandemic, so many people are lost. So many people are really had so many things unpinned and just their worlds literally turned upside down. So it's just like, okay, everything that you thought that you had, everything that you believed is now in question, right? So it's like, okay, what are you going back to? What's going to be the source for you? What does that look like on a day by day basis? And then also, how is that sustaining you? Because again, I mean, I dipped and dabbled into a whole lot of different spiritual things. I mean, I'm aware of the chakras and the crystals, and quite honestly, I love just learning more about the spiritual realm. I love philosophy. I'm that type of person. I love those intellectual conversations, just like how we're having right now. But what I've essentially found for me is like I had to hold on to my faith in God as my source, because it's the only thing that really has sustained me throughout these years. And all those things are kind of maybe complementary. I don't really know. There's a whole lot of arguments, not the time or space right now, but essentially the mental health and the spiritual health, I feel like are definitely connected. Because when I am weak, you know, God says in his word that his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So I know that I don't have to do everything, because I'm mortal, I'm finite, I have limited energy. We all given 24 hours a day. You know, you got to go to sleep to renew your energy throughout the night to produce the next day. So I know that there's more that was kind of, you know, out there and working through me that would allow me to kind of really be successful and really kind of have, you know, a productive life, you know, through all the ups and downs. So I definitely, I would say, you know, whatever that is, sometimes people, you just got to kind of come back to the source and ask some of those basic questions, like, who am I? What's my purpose in life? I'm this person, I'm in this role, but this is not really maybe who I am. Maybe there's some deep internal things that I've covered over the years and never really addressed, or never really, you know, took another look at. Maybe so sometimes it's about doing some introspective work and getting quiet and raising your awareness and just really just finding some quiet time to meditate, to, you know, think about what's important to you. And I think oftentimes that's a great first start for people who really feel like just life is really chaotic. There's so much going on. I'm giving, but I'm neglecting myself and what's important to me. And sometimes it's just literally slowing down, getting quiet, and just meditating on, okay, who am I? what makes me happy, what is my passion in life, what am I good at, what do other people say that I'm good at, and just starting to ask yourself those questions. And one of the things that I love to do, I love to journal. So I have probably over 50 journals that I keep. That's
I like to be a fly on the wall in some of those. I'm just saying.
I'm also kind of I love to write as well. So, but I heard Tyler Perry, which actually Oprah said to him, is that, journaling is therapeutic, or is it cathartic? It's basically very good for you to express emotions that have been bottled up. Because again, when your emotions are bottled up, it makes it very hard for you to really navigate and go forward when you got all this baggage inside. So just writing and journaling is just a great way to reflect, and a great way to just kind of meditate and think about, again, those things that are important to you in life. So
what we had spoke about before, we were talking about what's going on in society right now. What advice would you give young lady or young man as they're starting their journey? Maybe they're in junior high school, about to graduate, go to college, trying to figure out what they want to do. What advice would you give them as far as, maybe starting their own business, being an entrepreneur, going to college? College isn't for everybody, so maybe something else. All of this having to, be wrapped up with the health and wellness aspect of the life. What advice would you give?
Yeah, so such another good question. The advice I would give, and I kind of wish that somebody gave it to me. The problem that I had after graduating high school, going to college, is that I really didn't know who I was, or yet alone what I wanted to do in my life. So I switched majors in college. I mean, I saw other people doing out different things, and I didn't know what I was here for. So one of the key advice is, a big advice I would say, is number one, do what you're passionate about. Passion over profit. Passion over profit. When you follow your passions, number one, there's a reason why, you're passionate about something. It's something inside of you that ignites you. And when something that's inside of you that ignites you, it's going to give you natural energy. So you ever heard of people who work a job, they're maybe making a lot of money in their jobs, but they're absolutely depressed, absolutely miserable.
Absolutely.
We can name those people.
I was one of them.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it. So it's like, okay, this isn't really, you start to find that this is supplying my income, but I'm not really feeling fulfilled. So I would say, find out what you're passionate about and explore that further, because if you can do that, you're going to find that there's usually something there that's kind of pulling you, right? Versus you being pushed towards something. A lot of us are pushed to go to school. A lot of us are pushed to go into medical or law or different things by parents, by colleagues, friends. But there's something inside of you. So number one, find out what you're passionate about. Number two, ask questions to people. Ask people, what are some things that you think, what are you good at? What do people say that you're good at? So getting feedback from people in that way can also kind of help you get some more insight to that. And then number three, once you kind of find out what you're passionate about, what you're naturally good at, right? Then explore those industries, and also seek out mentorship. Seek out people who are actually doing the things that you want to do, because then you'll be able to kind of pick their brain and say, okay, well, this is actually something I really, really like, and I want to do this as well. Or you'll find out, actually, no, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to go that route, but at least have that information before you really kind of make some of these big decisions, because college is a big, big bill. You're going to be attached to student debt if you're not come from a wealthy household, or if you don't got scholarships, things like that. So
Right.
you really want to think hard about what steps you want to take, but you also got to spend that time to get to know yourself and really get to know what it is that you're good at, what it is that drives you, what are you naturally, passionate about, because there's a reason. And I think it was Mark Twain. I could be mistaken, but I think pretty sure it's Mark Twain that says the most important day, no, the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. And the day you were born and the day that you find out why. And I think there is something to be said about that. And I think we're all here for a purpose. We just got to really kind of get through all the noise of what society tells us that we should be, who our parents tells us we should be. We're individual people with individual DNA and gifts and talents and skill sets that is going to be used for a higher purpose or the purpose of serving other people.
Right.
And I think that oftentimes also volunteering is a great outlet to find out, again, more about yourself. There's just something to be said about when you give to others, what it does for us biologically, psychologically. There's a lot of good benefits to when we give to others or just give in general. So just that would be my big advice, follow your passions, follow what you're naturally good at, and don't chase the money.
Mentorship, you mentioned mentorship, and that's something big that I'm trying to develop with some other people. So men as well as women, and I think that's one of the goals of the videos that I post is giving back to the youth, because our youth need it tremendously.
Yeah.
And that's something that we'll speak about, off camera. But, anything else you want to mention that I didn't ask you? Self-promotion. Of course, we can't wait till the products come out. We want to get you back on here once the products are up and launched, because I know I want some.
Definitely. You might, I'll definitely be thinking about you. Trust me. I got the men. I put a note down. Men's
Yeah,
products,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
So, anything else you want to add?
I would just say that, just hang in there, for everybody listening, everybody that's tuning in and getting this really good advice, from your channel. I also have a YouTube channel called Meghan Lily. Right now, pretty much what's on there is some of my hair care series where I'm pretty much showing women how I do my hair.
We'll put the link below.
The link. And but I just want to encourage people to just hang in there. Oftentimes, sometimes it's the trials that make us stronger. And as crazy as this pandemic has been, how many people have been impacted financially, health-wise, mentally, emotionally, you got to find if you can't create a space for yourself, for you to nourish yourself. However that looks like, whether maybe it's a certain quiet space place in your home, or maybe it's in your car, maybe it's at the library or wherever, really spend time to really, focus on you. Because when your glass is half full, and you're trying to give and do other things for other people, you're pouring out of a half empty glass. And I would just encourage people to, also just take the time to just practice on creating better habits for yourself. And that can look like a many different ways. Exercise is a big part of it. So I do have a fitness website as well that I'm going to be promoting as well. So just all good things, but that's the main part. I just want to tell people, just hang in there. I personally went through my own personal pandemic in 2017 where my whole life literally turned upside down. And after it turned upside down, I had to go back and face the aftermath of that. So your struggle you may not even really be out of your situation, out of your struggle. there's some things that you actually will have to go back and address and confront, whether those are fears, whether those are relationships, whether they're financial, whatever it is. It does take certain strength for you to go back and address those unaddressed issues, because those will continue to perpetuate and oftentimes could have actually contributed to your pandemic, your personal pandemic. So I'm going to be looking at doing a coaching program that's going to kind of teach people and help people that are dealing with their personal pandemics and how to really get unstuck and how to move forward with new energy, with new excitement, with just a love for just, wanting to grow and become better. So again, more to come with that, but definitely connect with me on Facebook, Meghan Lily. Send me an email if anything that, touched you or spoke out to you. I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at Meghan, MEGHAN, Lily, LILY, co, CO, @gmail.com. I'd love to talk with you.
And we'll post all of her contact below. We want to thank her for coming on our show and giving us all of that good information. So make sure you subscribe to both our channels, like and share, and contact her with any questions that you may have. Thank you, and hopefully we'll have you back on the channel soon when everything launches.
Yes, Omar, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.